Hey, welcome back to Hooked on Christmas. Today we're going to do a little how do I pack away all the Christmas lights every year for Christmas. A lot of family and friends have asked, where do you put all those lights at? Where do they go? How are they put away? How are they stored? So today we're going to walk you through where everything is stored, and also how I store it, so that you can get a better sense. For those of you out there who may dread doing a Christmas light display because of all the lights and packing stuff away, hopefully this will help you guys put out a Christmas light display this year, and also Halloween as well. So, you guys ready for this? Let's get to it. Okay, first we start down here in the Christmas room, and this is where I do all the configuring for the lights and everything. I did a video on this already. You can see that's where I'm currently configuring the talking head for Halloween. And I store the mini trees. You see two over there in the corner, right there. But I store the mini trees pretty much right here next to the furnace down here, and there's a nice little space unused, and they sit quietly there for all the months until their time to use again. So quick and simple, nice little tight space for them. Let's move on. All right, now for the big items that are in the show, we have them stored out here in my shed. I actually rebuilt this shed in 2020 to be able to house a lot of the big items that are in my show. So as you see, the two new pieces there right in front here are the pillars that we're going to be introducing this year's show. You see the light posts that we have with the bows on them. There on the back wall are our trellis trees that we introduced last year with the twinkly light system. And then right there in the middle, right here, that's our Weber tree that's been a staple for probably about the last 8 years. And then on the back wall there, we have our lighted wreath that we made last year for the show. And if you look closely, that's one of the Christmas balls. That's another one there behind it. And then behind that is our joy sign. And then that little black box down there, that is one of the signs we use to let people know the radio frequency you have to tune into when you come and look at the light show. So then up here, right here on that shelf, those are some of the lights for the Halloween show that we do that we did start doing last year. And this year we will actually do a video on that, and so that everyone can see it. So on to our last stop in the great storage debate for the lights, and that will be in the garage. All right, we're here now in my garage / shop, and that is right there on those two shelves are the majority of the Christmas lights, that are in the show. Now, as you see the blue trays there, those blue trays contain all the blow-up animals that are in the show, as well as all the crates that you see up there. All the net lights and the falling lights and everything are neatly packed away in all of those crates up there. The last blue crate and the two gray crates are nothing but power cords. And I actually have two additional crates that's stored on one of my workbenches, underneath one of my workbenches, that actually are just nothing but power cords. There on the top there, you see those are the arches that we use for in front. And as you can see here, as we walk closer, all of my lights are on spools. And the reason for that is it makes unrolling these lights every year easy as peasy. If you pack away your lights correctly, it is much easier to unroll them and put them out the next year. So you can see I got these two spools here from Home Depot. They were got to throw them away, and I picked them up for them because so they can hold those mini lights. As well as you see, I have Halloween lights as well as additional Christmas lights. All of these are on spools. I also have down here on the lower level, little dusty, but those are some of the new additions getting ready to go out on the show this year here as well. And then you're gonna look for the arch that goes across the driveway. Well, that's neatly tucked away in that corner right there. And then the 10-foot tree that sits in the middle of the yard with the star on it, well, there it is, neatly tucked between the garage doors. So everything is tucked away nice and neat. Actually, in this corner, the poles that hold up the drape that falls away from the house, they're packed away neatly in that corner. So as you can see, we have everything neatly packed away in its containers for easy storage, as well as easy access when we need to put it out. So let's finish this video. Okay, now you just saw where we have everything stored. We have stuff stored in the basement, as well as we have stuff stored out in my shed, as well as in the garage. And one thing I want to point out for those of you who say, oh, it's too much hassle to put out a Christmas light display. It is only a hassle if you haven't stored your lights correctly. One of the things I've learned in all the years that I've been doing this, and I've been doing a light display at this house for 20 years, is that the more neater you are and the more meticulous you are in packing away your lights, the easier it is to put out the next year, which makes things a lot more joyous and a lot more fun. So what I mean is like the net lights that we have in our yard. If you look at our Joy of Christmas Light show, you see lights that are laid out in the yard. They are just huge nets. That's my son and I. We pick those nets up and we neatly fold them like we're putting folding sheets for a bed. We neatly fold them, and then we fold them again, and then we take a tie wrap and we tie them together, and then we lay that into the container. Each one is done that way individually. All the net lights, all the lights that we have that are falling lights are individually wrapped and put down. All as you saw, the string lights are all on spools. So they're simply just spooling the lights back up. Everything that we have out in the show, we have kind of modularized and able to rope lights, so just simply roll them up. They don't ever get tangled, so that's a great thing. To our mini trees that we have stored in the basement, to our large items that simply just sit in the back in that corner of that shed from January until October, beginning of November. They just sit still. Nobody touches them whatsoever. So, and we just pull them out, plug them up, test them, make sure they're running, and boom, we're off to the races. I've said in the previous video on how to build a large light show that you want to always have spares hanging around, so that in case of we plug one of those light strands up and somehow something damaged the lights during that time it's off, we have another strand ready to go, put it on, boom, keep it moving. I stress all of this because I want to say, for those of you out there who would like to put out a light display but are discouraged about how to do it, if you take your time when you're pulling it down and fold everything up nice and neat, when you get ready to do it the next year, boom, it's ready to go. And of course, putting everything in containers and having know what container knows where, have a rhythm and a rhyme to how you're doing it. One thing I want to say is that when you're out getting ready to do this, there should be a method to your madness on how you lay your lights out. And when you pull those lights back in, it should be a method in your madness of how you pull it in. I have to say, it literally takes us, last year we were at 23,000 lights. It took us a month to get everything laid out in the yard, plugged up, tested and ready to go. And that was including the little mini Halloween show that we did last year. So we literally started the last week of October. This year, we're going to be starting the second weekend in October and putting up Halloween. And while we're doing that, we're going to be putting up Christmas behind it, because I went to 27,000 lights this year. So there's a whole new set of displays and lights that have to go out. So we're literally going to be starting Halloween 2 weeks before, and then Christmas right behind it. And so when we pull Halloween down, we'll have most of Christmas already up, and then we can just keep going from that standpoint. What I have discovered is that if you stay on a schedule and have a rhythm to how you're doing it, it takes no time. It is actually a joyous time between my son, my daughter, and I, as we do it every year. But here's the ironic point. It takes us a month and a half to get everything out. It literally only takes us a week to take it all down. Well, literally, and it always baffles us every year how fast we can take it down, pack it up, pack everything up neatly, put it in the storage and station on the shelves, out to the shed, down in the basement. Not a problem. If the last day of New Year's falls on a Saturday, oh heck, we have it down before Sunday afternoon, because it's just a matter of just taking everything down. You would know what container it goes in. So if you start doing a light show and you want to start small, but you want to build up and have a nice display out in your yard, keep in mind, buy some containers. Those blue containers you saw I got from Home Depot, $8, you know, and then put things neatly away in containers. Plugs, power cords, cables, everything you can find. And also on those spools. If you don't really want to go buy a lot of spools, go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, and look at what they're doing in the electrical area. Because I found out that pretty much they throw those spools away. So you may want to walk in and just say, hey, what are you going to do with those spools? They're either going to tell you that you can't have them, or they're going to be like, oh, we're going to throw them away, you can have them. And you can that's how you can collect your spools. So there's always economic ways to do this. So what I'm hoping to do is hope that those of you who are thinking about doing a display, think it's a hassle and all this other stuff, that you too can do a display. Trust me, I decorate just as much in the house as I do outside. Everything that's in the house is modularized and in containers. To me, it's about an orderly fashion. If you have everything in order and ready to go, it makes putting out the light display and everything. You're not sitting there tangling with wires and oh Lord, this is such a hassle. No, it's literally pick it up, put it out, pick it up, put it out, pick it up, put it out. And there, tie wraps are your best friend. Undo the tie wrap, put it out. Boom, and everything's done well. So I hope that this little how-to video of how the Christmas lights are stored, as well as how you can use this rhyme to get your Christmas lights out and actually pack them away, is helpful for you. Thank you for watching this episode of Hooked on Christmas, and remember, it is always 'tis the season. Let's get decorated.